You can't just keep navigating through life not putting a band-aid over it, like I don't want to use that example, but putting a band-aid over a pipe that's constantly leaking. It's gonna keep leaking.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be, the water will never flow. But the way I do want to add in, the way that you would know that there is a real issue is if it creates a whole disturbance in your daily life. You're not able to go to work, or you're not able to go to church. So that's something that people need to recognize, that okay, now it's time for me to go get this help.
Like now does it take a little bit of mental health to deal with mental health?
Take a little bit of mental health to deal with mental health.
Yeah, you trying to see so many people with them mental issues. Doesn't it take have to have a little bit to deal with them?
Does it take a crazy person to help a crazy person?
Try not to say it like that.
Wow.
I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to help a crazy person.
Okay.
You know how they say you have to be a little crazy to deal with crazy?
No.
I didn't want to say it like that. But.
No.
What's the youngest person that you've had to sit down and talk with?
Well, the youngest person was probably in my clinicals, so about 6 years old, and that's for behavioral problems at school.
Right.
So that's a whole nother diagnosis, how you have to really figure out what's going on, because you have to talk to multiple people. You have to talk to the mother and father, you have to talk to the teacher, and you have to talk to the child to see what's going on. So those other players have to be a part of the clinical diagnoses for children to figure things out.
But you do still have to talk to the child, and I guess what they say has to match up with the people that's around them.
Sort of, but children, when they talk, they're pretty honest.
Right.
They let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they playing the whole time too. They might have a doll or action figure or some kind of truck or whatever it is that's distracting them, but maybe even their iPad, something that'll be distracting them, and they'll answer their questions so it just depends.
But what's the signs of a child needing therapy that young?
For that young, not paying attention, being mute, not talking at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They can have sleep troubles too. But the main, the one that I like to go back to is the mutism thing. That's kind of how children are going through something else, like an intellectual disability or neurocognitive disability that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
I'd like to know the patience level of a therapist.
The patience level? You gotta be, chill, like how I'm sitting here talking now and listening, and when I don't understand something, I ask a question to kind of follow up to see what it is that's going on, or to answer it the way it needs to be answered. That's what you have to do. So even in healthcare, or I don't want to say police work again, but police work, firefighters, those public service jobs, you have to have a level of patience, because you're working with the public. Even if somebody starts yelling at you or cursing you out, you can, politely shut down the conversation and say, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. So, maybe we can, follow up again at another time. So, you don't have to yell back at the person because they called you out your name. You know that's not your name, so why are you getting upset? So I know I'm Dr. Abraham. I don't need to prove to you that I am, all right?
Yeah.
But if somebody's getting upset, let them be, let them calm themselves down. But you still have to safely shut down the conversation so so all of that can end.
So you ever had anybody leave your office and you be like, Jesus?
No, what I do when I feel overwhelmed I just make sure that I regroup by going outside and getting the air, like getting some air or getting some sun. But I can say that I am hardly ever, or I don't want to use never, because I always tell people don't say should and never, but like I don't like to get myself to a point where I'm irritated or annoyed, because there's no point to feel that way. I'm here to do a service. I'm here to help. I'm here to be a service to you. So I want you to feel that. I want you to always feel comfortable. I want you to always feel open to say whatever it is that you have to say. So you'll never make me upset, tired, or anything. I'm here. I'm gonna listen. I'm locked in. I'm not gonna, be like, oh, like I don't want to listen to this today. Like that's not professional.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. You're always gonna come in and feel like, okay, Dr. Abraham is really finna listen to me and give me what I need for the day.
You're not so basically you don't take your emotions into your conversation with your patients.
Absolutely not.
And you're not judging. You're not
Absolutely not. It's not my place.
Those two things you shouldn't. Yeah. You
right.
shouldn't. Yeah.
And you shouldn't do it anyway. Professionally, you shouldn't do it anyway.
Or living. Yes. So.
Right. Or even in your personal life, you shouldn't be doing it either.
I need to go to school. I can be that.
I think with the personal life a little bit different. It's depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with your feelings towards someone, and y'all not seeing eye to eye, and you're trying to explain, and they're still not getting what you're trying to say, and it's coming from the heart. It's coming from love. It makes it hard for the individual. You know what I'm saying? So then your emotions get in. Like I'm just tired. So I think a little bit different. But now there's no emotions. We should have no friction at all. Unless, like you said, I'm coming to you and I'm telling you what I'm feeling. You're going to give me your diagnosis of what I'm saying to you. So it should be we don't have a connection. But when you have a connection with someone, that's when stuff starts to get a little bit, I guess, different.
Yeah.
So when the relationship makes it a little bit different. But somebody you don't know, like you just said, you can call y'all what you want. That's not your name. I don't have to respond to it, and you shut it down. So we'll just talk at another time.
Right.
See, that's easy to me. That's easy. But when you're dealing with them emotions and people you
say that just because you know them and it's coming out of love, what did that person say? Look, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Chris, and that's how you shut things down. But everybody doesn't shut things down the same way you do, Chris.
I didn't say me.
Oh, we
say me. I just asked, what did you say to that person? Just said, look, I don't want to talk about that right now.
People does not just go in. Things don't end that sudden. Oh, you don't want to talk about it? Let's stop talking. Yeah, it doesn't end always like that.
That's the good thing about our relationship. Like this is my blood brother, and he like an uncle to me. They best friends. They've been best friends their whole life, and so it was good for us to be able to build that chemistry on camera as a podcast, because we already know each other. We coach each other all the time. We just go back and forth all the time. Now we finna go deep, because this is the Universal Thought podcast. So coming from the mind of a psychiatrist, do you think that suffering is a part of growth? Is it necessary in some instances?
Suffering comes with growth. So in reference to the Bible, Jesus suffered a lot, a whole lot. And he got on the cross and suffered even more. So, a part of that, when we navigate our lives, we go through things that we feel like they make us suffer. Something relatable, I lost a parent in 2015. My father passed away.
My condolences.
Thank you. That for me, that was a lot of, oh my gosh, like I lost somebody that I felt that was an anchor for me, like somebody that was there for me. But in the same breath, I can also say I learned from him. I'm guided by things that he has told me over the years, that he's helped me with to grow as a woman who I am today. And a part of him and my mother both telling me, no, you can do that. You got this. You got it. And here I am, Dr. Abraham with Clear Mind Psychiatry, and now in the heart of Whitehaven, helping other people to get to that point too. So suffering is a part of what we have to go through, unfortunately. but you don't have to remain there.
Right.
You can get past that. Like, you can keep moving to do what you need to do.
I totally agree. I got a question to ask you. We spoke to a young lady about 2 weeks ago, and I really want, because you just said that she went through a lot of stuff. She was telling us about how her mother's husband fathered her child and her sister's child, and when she tried to tell her mom about it, her mom did not accept, or she didn't accept it. But then she found out later that her mom was, went through the same thing when she was growing up. So I guess, you just said that, sometimes you have to get past things. Is it sometimes it's certain things you just can't get past? Like for instance, her, and then she said the reason why she hadn't done anything just traumatic or whatever, she said she'll talk about it. We won't actually have it on a podcast, and she has no problem putting it out there. She said, but the reason what keep her founded is that she don't want her child. She don't want to do anything stupid, so her child will have to go through the same thing she went through, and her child keeps her foundated. But is there some things that can happen in your life that you just can't get past? And I'm asking this for you.
I believe everything that happened in our lives we can get past, but it comes back to what we said earlier today about those actionable things to get past that point. That sounds horrible. I hate that she went through that, like her entire family, but you still have to, move forward like she did. She moved forward. Now she's protecting her daughter. Now she's teaching her daughter. Now she's probably there for her sister. And, so those are actionable things on moving forward. Okay. She didn't stay in that moment. She's not sulking. She's not saying, oh, this is your fault that I can't do this and I can't do that. It sounds like she didn't say that at all. No, sounds like
she's very strong.
Her life is, progressing in the way it needs to, and that could have been attributed to just her strong will. I'm not sure, or therapy. I'm not sure. So, like it just sounds like she did what she had to do to keep moving, and she didn't stay in that place.
Yeah, we actually this is what at Mexican we was at.
Yeah.
And we actually, I had just met her because Eric didn't know her, and after hearing her story, I had to give her a hug. Just give her a hug. Sometimes I was like, hey, and she was like, she appreciated it, but that was a lot. That's a lot for any one person to deal with, And then you see this person like, it's just to see that issue over and over. When you look at somebody, and then when she see her daughter, she's literally like seeing him. That's something that's to me that's just strength in God, I guess.
Right, it is.
Yes,
yes, it is.
She was she actually, I think one of the signs, just from knowing her, is that she is always kind of upbeat and she is always smiling, and never talked about problems. And so, I guess. Could that also be something that you notice in people that they're always in a good mood? Because most of those people are actually masking what they're hiding on the inside. How can you identify something like that?
Identification for that would be like they have to literally come to the office for me to do a complete evaluation. Like that, because you're right. People do mask. People do cover up what's going on, and you would never know. Like they just thought about suicide 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So but sometimes it sounds like I want to put this back on the spiritual thing as well. So or religion. So sometimes you run across lights in people, and people just open up and just let you know what's going on. So that at that time you can seriously help. You can tell them, hey, I know a therapist. Hey, I know a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Hey, I know this person. Maybe you should go talk to them. So like, everything happens. I can go to like everything happens for a reason. And like being that light for people so that they'll know like, okay, they're a safe place. I can say what I need to say and get the help I need. I don't have to wear this mask. I can take it off now. I can put it to the side.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I told her that, I said, we're here for you. You come on a podcast, you want to vent, or anytime you need help. She's a Facebook friend of mine, and I told you, inbox me, I'm there for you. She got a number, we'll always be there for you, because I always feel like when a person, like you said, we can be her light. She can be somebody else. Like I think it's a continuation of this community thing. So yeah, we're there for her, and we actually want to get her on here And the plan is to actually get on here, maybe with you on here, and help, maybe you can be the one to help her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the plan. But we'll let Eric figure out how we can get that together though. But we're here for it though.
Right.
I think we got a date booked for the middle of June.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
Okay.
So we'll let you know. We're not gonna hold you too much longer. I do have my last question to you is now this is there's one thing that I grew to know about myself, and certain things about becoming aware of who I am. It's certain things that I knew I needed to hear growing up and I didn't hear it. And when I first heard it broke me. I was like, wow, this is what I needed. I always wanted to hear somebody, whether it's my father that I didn't mean until later on, or just somebody to tell me they was proud of me, right? So when I heard it for the first time, I cried like like somebody died. So what do you think is the main thing people that's in pain don't hear?
They don't
And need to hear.
that they don't hear that they need to hear. Is it coming from ACEs, like a childhood trauma?
I don't, it could be. Me personally, I felt like I was dealing with more abandonment issues. And it was always people that I decided to make a part of my life. Cause I don't deal with everybody. I'm not that type of person. But when I get hurt by somebody that I feel like they I ain't gonna say lied to me, but they portrayed me in a way where they said they would be here for me and they turned right back around and they was the opposite, right? Like I said, father, didn't know him, and then at some point I met him and it was like, he didn't keep his promise, right? People in church, I got backstabbed in the church. Everybody that I felt like was supposed to be my safe space did the complete opposite. So I got to myself and I felt abandoned. But everything that I did, it was just like, so what? I mean, I graduated from college, nobody came, right? Had basketball games, nobody came. Like I just felt insignificant. So at some point I just bump it. I'll try to go on, but that's why I don't like to talk about it, because I just don't feel like people really care, to be honest with you.
That'll root back to the discernment and also therapy and like those abandonment things that may come up. It's a book that comes in mind. It's called Codependency No More.
Right.
And it talks about like the three things on how we can be, that we focus on, like being like having that abandonment thing going on, or doing like something to kind of run away from how we're actually feeling. But it helps pinpoint positive things that you can change that around. And it takes some effort though. It takes effort because you have to figure out who exactly is your tribe. Who are those people that you can trust? But that comes from those prayers, and also something that my Pastor Orr told us to do, which was like he said it in January, something that he does that I've copied off of him now on doing, is reading Proverbs every single day. Right. Proverbs offers wisdom, it offers insight, it offers that discernment that we need to navigate through life and to figure out who those people are that need to be in our lives and who don't need to be in our lives, because God will let us know. And in your case, I hate that happened, but you also have to focus on what positive came out of it, and that is this podcast, your fiance, your brother, Chris, so those are things that you always have to like keep your mind on the positive things, because if you keep your mind on the negative things, that's how we get the stressors of anxiety, the stressors of being depressed and not being able to sleep, or having like, oh my gosh, like why is my chest feeling this way? So you have to switch it. I know it sounds like I'm just like, oh, this is the way you do it, but you have to.
Right.
It has to be a conscious effort, because if you do not, you're gonna find out. You're gonna probably crash out on somebody.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna get upset. You probably curse them out or be like, you know what, I'm finna block you. And they didn't even do anything to you. You just got mad, you know. So, you know, but you have to catch those moments and make sure like you putting the right people back into your life.
I think I keep doing it too. I keep doing it. I keep blocking people, man. Like,
and that's something, you know, the blocking people, it could, like, it sounds like a defense mechanism, but at the same time, it's coming from you being guarded. It's coming from you not really trusting. It's coming from a place like they just gonna do what everybody else did, but you don't know that. But that's the beauty about life. You know how we say it, like those the stressors and also was it sublime? No, I lost my thought. But that's the beauty about life. Life always throws stuff at us.
Yes.
It's all about how we handle it when it happens. Are we going to crash out or are we going to take it and move forward? Crashing out is not going to help anything. You just crashed out and now what? Now what are we going to do? You can get, you got another problem.
So that's, you should look at this. I think it's more hard for a person. Just say if you have a good friend that came up totally different than you, you wouldn't understand their hardships. So what would you think is the best way to relate to them when you really can't?
You can continue
about the upbringing, about the different upbringing.
You can continue to be yourself. Just because like one person grew up with their mother and father and the other person just grew up with their mother or just with their father doesn't mean like, you know, that they're better because they had the mother and father in the household. You have no clue what happened in their mother and father household.
Yeah.
The father could be an alcoholic or an abuser. The mother can be an alcoholic and an abuser. Like one could be holding on to a job, the other one probably not doing anything. But you know, but when they come out of their household and to the public, they're the perfect picture of a family.
Yeah.
So that's the point where we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people and what they have going on and the idea of what we think that a family should be. Our family is who we make it.
Yes.
So, and I know like a lot of people say, oh, it has to be blood, it has to be blood, but it's also people that you meet throughout your life that means a lot to you, that you care about and they care about you and they're showing you that they care about you. But you can't be focused on like, oh, she grew up with both her parents, how is she gonna help us? Okay. That doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't.
And so what if I grew up with just my mom? Okay, that's good too.
Yeah.
So you know, like it's all about like how we have got to stop comparing ourselves to others and what they got going on and what they're doing. It reminds me of something from Acts 10 when Peter. Or 9, it was Acts 9 when Peter was saying, well, this guy wasn't doing that, and he was talking to the Lord about it. And God, basically the response back was, you need to be focused on yourself. And he got himself in check, and he went ahead and, you know, did what he was supposed to do. So you can't be worried about somebody else and what they got going on or what they had or what you think they had. Like, who cares? Like, the only thing that you can do is continue to help you. Be genuine with you, be authentic with you, and be that man or woman that you see yourself as. And that's like, it's okay to have that in your mind as an image so that you can strive to be that person.
Yeah.
I still want to be an astronaut.
An astronaut? Really?
Yeah.
How long you been wanting to be an astronaut?
I've been wanting to be an astronaut since I was a little girl, besides wanting to be a doctor, you know? So, like, I mean, I want to do it both. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's still in my mind to do it.
It be something to strive for. So, I think that, literally, everybody has problems. I personally think that everybody in the world has problems. We just have different problems, you know? Like you just said that we think this person has a perfect life stuff, but like you said, behind closed doors, there's issues probably going on. You know, so I don't ever look at, oh, I want to hear that. No, I know that everybody has their own problem. We're dealing with our own self. So do whatever makes you happy, make sure, I always feel like, make yourself happy. You know, do things that, like you said, bring yourself up sometimes, make yourself happy. And I'm not saying to boast about anything or whatever, but I know what makes me happy. I know things I like, I know things I don't like, and I try to do things I like. Because life, as they say, life, when you lifing, you gonna have them bad days.
Life be life.
Life be life, and you gonna have them bad days. So I expect them to come, but I also know from there comes growth. Like you said, I grow from stuff. You learn things, and you're supposed to do different. And that's my growth. That's how I feel like that's how we supposed to grow as people. In period. So yeah. So I don't look at people's life like, I really would like to have their life. No, I'll be good with their life. I'm gonna have mine. You have yours. Let's get together. That's just how I look at it.
It's been a journey. It's really been a journey. I've never actually sat down with anybody before. I've been told that not been told, but put it like this: I've always been that person to have to talk to everybody and pour into everybody else, and didn't really have nobody to pour into me. So I really had to learn how to deal with my own mind. And at some point, I finally got a handle on it after being isolated for like 2 years, just trying to figure out who I was and how to move forward with the things that life throws at you. But I do, and I used to didn't feel like it was necessary to sit down and talk to somebody. Like I feel like it, like them folks don't know me. Like why should I sit down with somebody that don't know me? Not knowing that the mind is very technical, and expert understands how the mind operates, and you'll be to set up down on the couch and understood something about yourself that you didn't even know.
Right.
So
the body is complex.
Yeah.
God has it like so intricate that one thing runs off the other. Just like we have to run off of each other. Like I need you, you need me, you need him, and vice versa. So like it's just what we need, like we have to be positive towards each other. We have to be kind towards each other. We have to learn how to not allow like ourselves to get in the way. We have to stop doing that, because if you limit yourself, how far can we continue to go?
Right. Yeah. I was about to say that when you said it, Eric. What would you say to the people that I'm not finna go pay somebody to tell me what's wrong with me?
Well, it's not necessarily paying somebody to tell you what's wrong with you.
I know what you're saying. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, but I guess for reassurance or for some assurance, like my practice, I can say this: like Clear Mind, we accept insurance for Medicaid, Medicare, and major commercial insurance companies, plus self-pay if you don't have those things. And even though you may not feel, too comfortable with doing that, you can just, try it out. Because like the first step is just going to see how it's going to work out. If you don't like it, you can find another person. It's always somebody out there, that's willing and ready to listen to whatever it is that you have going on, or if you think something is seriously wrong, like get that help. Like I don't want to see, our community go to the route of not getting, certain help that they need mentally. Sometimes we'll go to the doctor if we know that our blood pressure is high. We'll take the medication for that.
Right.
We'll take the medication if we had gout on those ankles. We'll go take the medicine for that to get rid of the pain, but you don't want to get rid of the pain here.
Come on, man.
Here.
Right.
You have to get that. Like, it's not anything wrong with it. I don't see it being a true stigma, except for, like the way that we, do look at things, like, from history's past until now. But you have people like myself and others who are like genuine and want to help you. Right. Like we want to let you know, like it's okay not to be okay.
Right.
Yeah. You're not, as you the key word is not being okay. Do you think? I know the answer to this question, but don't that affect the relationships you have, or the lack of relationships, or when you've been in one and things just go haywire, and you're willing to point the finger at someone else? Can it be because of something that may be going on inside of you?
You got to do your inner work. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people tend to point blame at other people and they may have a good point at that point, but they're not looking at their own selves. It's called, and I always say it's denial. And when you're in denial, those people won't ever come up and see you at all because it ain't my problem. It's their problem.
My problem is their problem.
Yeah, it's a lot of people like that.
And then you may have people in your family, like I said before, like you have that uncle that's in the background that everybody knows that needs some help. Or you may have somebody in your family that's in denial about having like a psychiatric, illness, or you see the signs and symptoms of that person, but if they're in denial and you're telling them, how much work can you really get done for them if they're not being honest with themselves?
You can't.
So as a community and as some people who just seem like all of us just love people, we just have to tell them. I believe in education, like educate, talk about the signs and symptoms, talk about the disorders, the names of them, how can you recognize some things, and when do you need the help. And again, I said before, when you need the help is when you can't lead your daily life. Right. Like you're not going to work, you're not going to church, you're not doing anything that you know that you need to be doing for your day.
I agree.
Yeah, we coming up, excuse me, when we were coming up, kids was brutal. They found out you going to see a therapist, you couldn't go to school without getting in a fight. So it's like, what's wrong with you that you can't recognize that person getting the help they need, but you not helping that situation?
You're right. So like it seems like the kids nowadays are like pretty astute on those therapy terms, some of the pop culture terms that's out there now. But if somebody is bullying, because basically that's what that is, like you're bullying the person because they're doing something that's positive, like what sense does that make?
They didn't call it bullying. We call it what, Jones and then checking.
Jones
and checking.
Right.
It still could be a form of bullying. I get it. But
But getting that help is like literally like, again, like the main thing that anybody should do. Like making the first step and ignoring what people have to say. At least you're doing something for you that's positive. It's not anything that's being like not a good thing for you, and it's definitely probably be a good thing for the people around you. So but that inner work, recognizing that you need it, recognizing that you may need a little medication to help with that, like those things actually matter, and the progression from that would be completely awesome. You don't know where your life is going to lead you to. Maybe you will get back focused on some of those dreams and goals of things that you want to do with your life. Right. Who knows? But you don't know until you go talk to somebody.
What you just said, like and a lot of people say that. A lot of people say like, yeah, you got to look. You got to be. You got to, look within and deal with yourself. But I feel like if you haven't had that moment where you had a breakdown, to have a breakthrough, like that moment of clarity where you finally realize, dang, I have, because I put it like this: if growth doesn't necessarily mean anything to you, you're not gonna take it. You're not gonna take it serious. Like everything you say to a person, you're just not gonna take it serious. And so when growth, it finally became something I knew I had to do. It like looking at yourself, it was like. It's like you stripped naked and you looking at yourself and looking at all the flaws that you seeing all the things that made you push other people away, and it hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you don't really go through that hard, painful, moment of looking at yourself, you're not really. This is just my opinion. You're not really growing, or you're not serious about growing, because
Something I just thought about that we haven't said yet. And that I like to say that it goes with anxiety, which is fear. So if somebody, like what you were saying with the people saying, oh, why would you go do that? Like they're talking out of fear, because why wouldn't you go do it if it's something positive?
Right.
Why would you allow your fear not allow you to start a podcast? Why would you allow your fear not to, reconcile with somebody that you crashed out on? So like you have to get past those moments so that you can go back and do that growth part and keep that positive mindset and not the negative one. And be okay with people talking. Okay, like if you worry about that, that's another thing that deals with anxiety too. So what? They said that again. So what? Like, people are gonna talk. They still talk about Jesus Christ to this day. So like, so what? Just go ahead and move forward if you know that that's gonna make you be the man or woman that you want to be, or the child that you want to be. If children are listening to this, like, you know, be that good student, or be that good basketball player, or be that good chess player. Like, whatever it is, like, you have to get past those fears.
Right.
I agree.
Awesome. Well, Miss Dr. Keita Abraham. You gotta get that right.
Marquita Abraham.
Marquita Abraham.
You said Keita.
She said Marquita. She said Marquita.
But she said call her Quita though.
No, she just said call her Dr. Abraham.
Dr. Abraham.
Yeah.
I
Maybe even
really do
herself.
appreciate you coming and sitting with us. This is just breaking the ice. We're gonna have you back on and we're gonna get into some deep stuff.
But I gotta say where my practice at though.
Yes.
No, that's what I'm gonna tell her. Trust me, I got you.
Then let me back up.
Where they can find you at, and tell them what all your social media platforms where they can actually find you.
So my practice is Clear Mind Psychiatry in Whitehaven, and it's at 4466 Elvis Presley Boulevard in Suite 119. You can go to the www.clearmindpsychiatry.com website to book an appointment, or either call 901-878-9147, and I am on Instagram and TikTok. So you could contact me that way to get some appointments, or just look around on the website to see if Clear Mind is what you're looking for. But it's spelled CLR Mind Psychiatry.
Awesome. You on TikTok too?
I am on TikTok.
We gotta do a TikTok one day. Yeah, we gotta do a TikTok.
You got on Facebook?
For some reason, Facebook won't let me make a Facebook. I don't know.
For real?
Yeah.
You the first person I've heard say that, except everybody else.
No, yeah, it told me no. It said I refuted it, and they were like, you cannot refute it again, and we're done with the decision. I was
Wow.
like, hey, what I do?
What you do? Hold on.
It's like, wait a minute.
I think TikTok needs some therapy.
You had Facebook. You never had one?
I mean, Facebook,
I never had
Facebook
one for
need
business
therapy,
at all. I think it could have been like user error with me, because they don't like the beginning letters to be CLR, like capital letter, then you do the rest of it. They considered that a scam. And before I read the message, I had already did it twice, and that's when it blocked me.
Okay.
So like I read the message the third time, and I was like, oh, okay. Then I tried again the third time, and it was like, no. So
Did not know that, but okay.
yeah, so I guess it wanted it together, or I'm not sure, but I can't make one, so I left it alone.
Yeah.
Maybe if you make create another email or something like that, like your whole just another, because everything is attached to an email, so just create another email. It may let you do it.
Okay, I'll see.
Yeah. But
Well, this has been another episode of Universal Thought Podcast. Again, anytime I can sit down and shed a tear, then we had the right person on the couch. So this gonna be part one. We definitely gonna let y'all know when part two, and we're gonna have Miss Dr. Marquita Abraham back on the couch, man. And we'll see y'all on the next episode. You did.
peace.
Give that man a lollipop.